Welcome. This is Liliani and Christina with the Empower
Hi.
Podcast. And today we're going to talk about the importance of sleep. So, we're going to start by sharing a little bit of science that we have been reading and learning with our professions and as women
Yes.
interested in wellness. So,
Yes.
I can start it by, with the lymphatic drainage. The body, you were reading about the detox, like how the brain detox during um, um, the sleep, right?
Right.
So instead of me starting, talk about the cerebrospinal fluid, like the importance of the brain shutting down, having rest, and
Yes. I think it's not a matter of me thinking, it is scientifically been proven that the importance that the body at least get a minimum of 7 hours of sleep. Some people sleep more, but as an adult, at least 7 hours of sleep for better brain function. And that when we sleep, that's actually the time when our brain cells are actually cleaned. And you mentioned the type of the fluid,
and it's not just in the
process.
brain, like the whole body at rest. Because here's how I say to my clients in an easy language, right? When you're in the fight flight mode,
Yeah.
like dealing with life, working and taking care of the things you need to take care of it, the last thing your body's going to use energy for is for healing. So your body needs that energy to fight.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we don't fight animals anymore, but we still fight life. You
So-
take a lion per day, isn't
Yeah.
it that?
Yeah.
And then when you are in the process of healing, like your lymphatic system is fighting a bacteria, fighting a virus, or you catch a cold, or you cut your finger, or you went through surgery, you exercise. Like, when you exercise, you produce a lot of metabolic waste. So all of that needs healing, needs detoxing, right?
A process, right? It needs to go through the process of got it. Okay.
And the lymphatic system is responsible for the detoxing process. And so your body and we'll talk about this in another episode, but for right now, the body goes through this process of cleansing and the process of fighting bacteria, and is the immune system, right? So during sleep, that's when the body doesn't really have to do anything else. It would restore cells, it will regenerate cells, will detox cells, will cleanse the dead cells. It will manage the cleansing and the strength the immune system. So that's why, for your beauty and your wellness, it's really important that you sleep well.
Let's talk about for a moment sleeping patterns. I know for me, I can fall asleep pretty quickly, easily. I mean, I'm a morning person. I'd never considered myself a night person. So I can fall asleep anywhere from like 7:30 p.m., 9 p.m., but I don't stay asleep. What is it?
Like the opposite.
The complete opposite?
I like to wake up earlier because my brain is fresh and I can be very productive. But I can like my time to wake up in a good mood is 7 a.m. like on a daily basis. So
I feel like I overslept if I sleep until 7 a.m. Seriously.
Yeah.
4:35
I have a buddy that we do study every day in the morning, and he's like a 5 o'clock guy. And I tried for a few months to do like a 6 o'clock to study with him, and I said at one point, like, no, 7 o'clock. And and I'm the opposite as well, because I have a hard time falling asleep.
Well, what's
and
happening?
TV is not my thing. It's the cell phone. We still have some electronic with the cell phone. And I noticed that my brain doesn't shut down. So mine is the arousal. I was reading some research, the arousal of the cortisol, with like so much that I have to do. And we'll go into like the things that I do to help overcome that. There's the physical part of it too, which is related to, I need the shower, I need to like calm down. Like there's so many things, but I lost track track of what I was saying.
Well, that's okay. So you were about to get into the routine of things that you. So, I mean, as a professional, and this is something you specialize in. In fact, I
Mhm.
know that you even made, because sleep deprivation was a huge concern for you. You see it in a
Mhm.
lot of your patients that you
Mhm.
went and even created a tea to
Yeah.
help, address these issues. But uh, as far as why you can't, or why you have a hard
Mm.
time falling to sleep, revisit that for a moment. Because you mentioned, I have a lot, your cortisol levels were spiked.
Like because we were preparing for the episode, I was like looking a few things too.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person, if I drink coffee and I want to go sleep and I'm tired, I just fall asleep.
Oh my God, we are opposite there too.
But
Remind me. I'm gonna give you the floor. I want to share a brief moment on that too. But go ahead.
but I noticed lately I have been working so much, and that when I come to bed is my me time, and so I don't want to fall asleep because I don't want to wake up because I know when I'm gonna wake up I'm gonna restart everything again. So I'm noticing that.
Well, what does me time look like? When you say me time, does that mean you're on your phone taking care of business, like emails, or are you social media? What are you doing?
Oh, it's like turning off my brain off, like, because like I wake up with like I'm studying and then I'm exercising and then I'm preparing for the food, my meal prep for the day, and I go to the office and then I'm thinking
Very
about it, like,
structured.
and then there's like all the emails, and then there's the training, and then there's the therapist, and then there are clients, and then there's the part of fun, and then the dating, and then the planning my trip. I'm going to Brazil, so all of that is like. Then when I come at like in bed, I was like, I want to do nothing.
Well,
It's like the do nothing, and then I was like, if I get to bed at 10 o'clock, I don't want to fall asleep at 10. I want to get to nothing to another hour. So then it's like 11:30 midnight.
Okay, I understand. So what you're saying is, because that is your only downtime, that you want to enjoy that downtime. It's like going to get a massage. I hate when I fall asleep at a massage because I feel like I missed out on all the enjoyment of getting into. So I totally hear you. I get that. Oh, interesting.
And then there's the days that there are the days where I am extra, like something different happened, like my stress level was like let's say a surprise, something really upset happened, or something very exciting, like the week that we had our first podcast released. That day I could, like, I slept 5 hours because I was so excited. There was so much cortisol in my body.
Yeah.
So not necessarily negative,
But that's not so much a pattern for you. That's not a problem. It's just that you at least, I think it's important to recognize
yes
what it is that keeps you up at night from being able to fall asleep, and what it is that keeps you, or from not being able to sleep through the night. I think once you can identify it, you can address it.
Yeah.
So.
I think you said like it's not constantly, because consistently because I became responsible for it. Like I don't function without sleep. I know, like, if I don't sleep well, my next day is dead. So usually I fix with the massage, because then the massage gives me the calm down, that relaxing that I didn't have sleeping. But the thing I want to bring in empowering, like I actually become responsible. Like I did that, waking up to 6 o'clock to study in the morning for like a few months, and then I said, like, it's not working. I'm getting resentful. I'm getting upset. Like I don't want to do this. So I start creating for me to wake up at 7, so that gives me the sleep I need. And so there's other things that I do. Like I brought the tea, and we'll talk about that tea. I do the teas. I do other things too. Like I like dancing. I like exercise. Like I have a walk. I can't really do too much strong hiking, but I love walking. So that helps with exercise. Helps with the sleeping too.
Well, let me just ask you, do you consider yourself a person who has, you know, a problem with sleep? Because, you know.
No.
Oh, okay.
I get it. Yeah, no, I don't let be a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to go back and tell you that story.
Okay,
Because
go ahead.
you said that you can drink coffee late at night, and it doesn't matter.
Uh-huh.
Full caffeine, you just fall asleep. So I was at Bible study one night, and they wanted to have coffee, and it's probably about 9 p.m. And I would never think to drink any type of caffeinated beverage that late. But it smelled so good because it was like some kind of Mexican coffee, like a Mexican beans. You know,
Uh-huh.
have you ever had a Vietnamese coffee?
Oh, yes.
Woo! I love it, but my
And
God,
it's strong.
I'm like, yeah. So the girls were having this, and I just wanted to stay and visit with them. So I said, yeah, I'll have some. Oh my God, I felt it instantly. I came home, so by the time I got home, it was closer to 10. I went to the gym to go work out. I could not go to sleep until like 2 in the morning. I'll never make that mistake again. It's because if I don't drink it a lot,
Yeah.
I guess I'm more sensitive. Yeah. Maybe you built up a tolerance. So I'm gonna just touch on for a moment, you know, because as far as our listeners are concerned, they need to understand the importance, why it is so important to get, you know, at least a minimum of 7 hours of sleep. We talked about the cleaning of the cells throughout the whole body, right? That happens when you sleep, just like growing, you know, when children, adolescents, when they hurt at night sometimes, because that's when all their muscles, everything is growing. It grows at night. But also our response time slows down. People, if you've ever worked like night shifts, you know, and then they're still trying to maintain their households during the day, they notice like in accidents and stuff, or just think like your response time slows down. Cognitive health, all of that is compromised with the lack of sleep. Not to mention the body shows, you know, we show stressors in our face and everything. So that is so extremely important to, you know, as much as it is to be productive during the daytime, you need to allow your body to be productive at night, and that means allow the body to do its healing response.
I want to mention about like when we are taking care of children, it's very noticeable when they're irritated because they didn't sleep, right? So
Yes.
like, they're missing sleep, but when we like adults, when we don't sleep, we have a mood swing, a mood like irritation. It's so much easier to get, but we don't relate to that as like a lack of sleep.
Yeah, we're not saying well, some people do. Some people say I didn't sleep well, you know, or like in, you know, relationships, like, you know, you can tell when somebody didn't get enough sleep. They're grumpy, they're irritable, you know, even just the way they wake up.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not everyone that becomes responsible to like, oh yeah, I didn't sleep well, but let me make sure I sleep well so I don't bring my grumpiness here in the relationship.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we lived in a perfect world, everybody would take responsibility. But some people, it's just insomnia. They suffer from insomnia. Some people, it's a matter of not being able to breathe, right?
Yeah.
Sleep apnea. They're not able to breathe.
Yeah, there's like other
Oxygen.
conditions, right? Like, there's other conditions that helps with that.
Yeah. So tell me, for you, your how you, because you said you are so wound up doing so much during the day. What are your disciplines at night as you're preparing to go to bed? And because you're the one having trouble falling to sleep.
Yeah, the last 5 months, I have been more thoughtful about leaving the office earlier, because we close the office at 8, and sometimes because of, you know, wake up later and then I get to the office later, I leave late as well. So I have been working myself to leave the office at 5, 6 o'clock. If I can, then I go home and then I prepare dinner. Like, I have the winding down time, go for a walk. So that has been something that I have been working on to help me.
Changing your daytime routine. Yeah. Okay.
in the business, because everything that we have there is for healing, right? Like the lymphatic massages is for healing. We see a lot of people for post surgery. We see a lot of people they're dealing with fatigue and or hormonal balancing, like whatever, detox from chemo, oncology massage, like all of that is related to healing. So all the products we have there is related to somehow to help the lymphatic system. So I do have two teas that I use there, and the one that I like the most that I use personal is the anti-stress one.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk a little bit about the herbs in there, but the anti-stress for me helps to calm my mind.
Is that something you're drinking
throughout the day?
Throughout the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember when the person, Florence Lafranc, is the medical herbalist that formulated those teas, and every time we work on, like, I want a product that does this and that, and she came up with, she already had something, she make the formula this way for sleeping and anti-stress, and I gave this sleeping to somebody else because I don't have a problem, I couldn't test it, and then I tried the anti-stress, and I said to her, this formula is not good.
Oh yeah.
She's like, I said, yeah. Did you take only one tea? I said, yeah. She's like, take 3 in a day. And then I took 3 in a day because I was going through a lot of things. I mean,
yeah.
And then the 3 was like calming, like,
so that was the magic number.
That was the magic number for me.
Yeah.
Now I do like 2. If I'm too much, I do the 3, but usually like 1 or 2, like regularly, if it's not too, the roller coaster. What I know about the anti-stress tea is that it has ashwanda. Is that the name? Like, let me read here the.
What you're looking for that too. I like that. Turning to natural sources to address anything in our lives that, especially when it comes to herbs, botanicals, because they have multiple benefits, not just for, in this case, some of these ingredients. Chamomile is one of them. Well, chamomile is an amazing anti-aging herb. So there's multiple benefits when you use herbs. And, as far as water, there is no scientific evidence that shows that just water has any nutritional value other than hydration. So if you're going to drink water, you should make it botanical water, teas, and it doesn't have to always be a hot beverage, cold beverages. I always infuse my water with teas because I've got not only nutritional value, I've got supplements, I've got cell repair, all these amazing.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you understand those ingredients. So let's talk about the anti-stress one, because that's the one that I was talking about it. That one is for have lemon balm that reduces stress management, reduces anxiety, and improves concentration, because that's a problem for my lack of.
That's why you have a hard time falling asleep.
Yeah. And then Tulsi leaf, ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha.
That helps with the cortisol, like lower the blood sugar and the cortisol level.
That's a great diet lifestyle herb too for that.
Yeah.
And also detoxifying the liver and energy as far as cell energy. It's a different type of energy, but yeah.
And then Ostra, enhanced brain functions and induce feelings of relaxation. So those are the herbs included in that. And then
in which tea was that?
That was the anti-stress. The
anti-stress, the one that you can take throughout the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the sleeping tea, I have a funny story about it. Do you have any other teas that you take
to help me sleep? To help me fall asleep? I don't have an issue falling asleep.
Oh, because it's the staying asleep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's this.
So the staying asleep is the sleeping tea. And because I don't have that problem, I gave it to other people to try, because if I don't believe the product, I have to test it. And so I had some people to test it. They enjoy it. Worked. Okay, we sell it. And I have products in my house, and one day was warm. It was cold, and I was cold. And I was in a seminar. I was like, I'm gonna make some tea to warm me up. and I saw the sleeping tea. Oh, and the main ingredients are chamomile,
Yeah.
peppermint, tusi leaf, wood bethony, and catnip. So basically, it's like relaxing, antidepressant activity in the brain, nerve, like release, reduce nervousness, and so all of that wasn't present. So I take the tea just to warm me up, and I'm in the seminar that goes from 7 to 10, and it's like at 7:30. 45 minutes in, I was
You were falling asleep.
I was falling asleep, and I was like, okay, this really works, you know.
And I like that we're not so quick to put things that we become addicted to. I remember there was a time, my whole life changed once I had children. It was the moment that my babies were born, I felt like I had to sleep with like one eye open at night. And I think my whole sleep pattern was restructured, and it never went back. It was like I could hear everything. My all my senses were heightened because I became this like protector, and I've never been able to stay asleep. And I'm always at some point in the middle. But there's tricks, and we'll discuss, the different types of tips that we have and tricks that we use. Because hopefully they'll be beneficial to you guys if you're experiencing either falling asleep or not staying asleep.
And look, we're loving to have some comments. So engage with us. Write it down. Like, what is your experience? What do you do? And give us some tips. Ask some questions. Like, share.
For sure. Yeah.
So tell me what you do.
So what I recommend to my patients who are really suffering from insomnia, and it's really impacting their performance at work. They're irritable. They are becoming forgetful. So they come to me questioning, is this the beginning of menopause, or is this, so we have to kind of do a deep dive and discuss like what it is that's keeping them up at night. So there's a couple things, and it's out there, for you guys to research more as far as different types of things that will help you fall asleep or stay asleep. And first of all, I want to address your issue, and that is your me time. I get all that. If a person goes to bed and they're just revisiting their day, like, oh, this has to be done, and I still got to do that. If they journal, if the subconscious knows that information is stored somewhere where they can, refer back to it, their subconscious mind is able to go to rest and they don't revisit it. So I encourage people to journal or keep a calendar on your phone, write your task list, compartment, just put everything in their different compartments so that it's there for safekeeping, and you can always address it again the next day. Also, electronics is huge. So many of us go to bed with our phones or TV on. We have to turn, because even when you think you're sleeping, you're not sleeping. Your mind is recording every second of everything that it hears or sees. So you need to turn off.
So what do you do with the phone? You don't stop. You stop doing anything on your phone, and then how long?
Well, I recap everything. So before I go to bed, I basically just kind of recap. Make sure that all my emails have been answered, that I don't have any pending requests. I'm the kind of mom, I want my phone by my side in case there's an emergency, so I never turn it off. Some people say, put it on silent. No, because if one of my babies needs me, so I always just have it on very low. I used to sleep with the TV on. I could not fall, living alone. It was became my company. Shows like the Andy Griffith Show or Little House on the Prairie, like those comforts that take me back to a time where I felt secure and all of that. But I was hearing everything, even though I was in some, meditative state, I could still hear it. So I turn it off, and boy, I dream. Oh, I'm back to dreaming. So those are disciplines that I put into place. I always take my bath at night. I put my lavender Epsom salt in there. I light my candles. The mind has a way. That's why drinking tea is effective too. It's not, I mean, the ingredients are important, but you know what? There's a whole mindset to the whole act of relaxing and treating yourself, to drinking some tea and putting your candles on. All of those things the subconscious just starts to relax.
Mm-hmm.
So those are just a couple tips, and of course you can turn to, you know, relaxing teas. We've got melatonin, you know.
Well, I am suspicious. I do get massages every week. So
well, you have a place. I mean, you have a business that.
And I, you know, part of my job is to train therapists, so they have to practice on me.
Oh, well, I want to sign up to become a model.
Okay,
because
okay.
I
I just
do
had
not
one
treat
yesterday.
myself.
So when I come back, I have one in April. So
Okay.
we'll do one.
Yeah.
So I do like that part. I do what I preach because the massage really helps.
Oh, sure.
You know. Another thing that I do, I don't really watch TV. I do watch a little bit on the phone.
Yeah.
But TV is not my thing. I think, and I do have like I don't bring worry for the bed. It's really like I want to turn off from everything that was there.
You don't bring worry to the bed.
Like you said about the things that I need to do, the tasks, or
Okay.
like those things. I have a good thing throughout the day. I write it down, everything that I need to finish, like my tasks. Now, what I have been practicing, not good at yet, is just say no. Because I always think I can do one more thing. It's like, you know, like, Christina, what do you think about podcasts? Oh yeah, let's record the podcast and, you know, put in there.
Yeah.
And then, and then someone called me. I love to go out. Someone called me and I'm planning to stay home to rest, and then someone called me, let's go out dancing, you know. So
You're still dancing, so you go out dancing. So,
Yeah.
that's wow.
I haven't done, the last time was like 2 months ago. I think it's January that I went dancing, but I went to a concert, so it was like a month ago that, you know.
What do you?
I do those things too. Like I actually schedule. Like I have on my schedule time with a girlfriend every week. Time to do like walking like I created a group with Live Bright on a hike on Meetup. Live Bright on a hike, Meetup. We walk once or twice a week. Like I do those things that are fun for me because I'm a people person. I need to do that with.
Well, it's also extremely, you know, it's when you're not active in the daytime where your body's just, it's like, you know, it was at rest.
Mm-hmm.
So now, you know, the body and the muscles need to move. So that's why people sleep better also when they are working out, when they're doing some form of exercise, you know, getting their heart rate up. And
I know that you like candles, right? Like you like the ambience and the.
I'm all about ambiance, atmosphere. I'm all about that.
For me, is the temperature. You're mentioning the 70 degrees temperature.
Yeah, that's what's.
I like even with like hot weather. I like to put the air conditioner on and put blankets on. Like I like the heaviness of the blankets.
That's what keeps you, you know. So the recommendation is 70 degrees. We actually sleep better at the cooler temperature. So, you know, if that's something that you're facing, not being able to fall asleep or stay asleep, try that. Not necessarily a fan, but if, you know, the AC, if you can do that just to keep or open a window at night, that might help as well. So
here's okay. So do you have anything that you know you could incorporate to sleep better, or are you good where you are about your sleeping?
So I would be misleading you if I were to say I sleep through the night because, you know, let's face it, we know everything that you need to do. Just like you probably know all the steps, but do we do it? Do we actually follow it? Are we sticking to that, you know, no, sometimes, you know, I know that if sometimes I'm getting up, I have a craving. And I give into that craving. And now my body, my blood sugar and everything's stimulated. So, you know, that might be, or I'm watching a movie and I did, you know, or TV, I start falling asleep. So I get up to turn it off like I know I should. But then now I'm stimulated somehow. I'm awake again. So then I'll turn it back, you know. So no, it's a constant battle, but it's you know, but I know the things that I need to do. I just have to put them into practice, and I'm really good at putting it into practice when I know I have an important day the next day, because I know the importance of sleep. But I function really well on 5 hours of sleep. That's just, I'm always, from the time I was young, up by 5 o'clock in the morning and ready to go. I'm not just sitting in bed. I'm physically up and doing my routine starting. So I don't require as much sleep. I just wish that, I wish that I could pamper myself. Like you said, it's your me time. I think that I feel deprived if I'm not getting full, like, active hours of doing what I need to do. So I need to, I need to work on it. Gotta be honest, I need to work on it.
Good.
And I'm gonna try your teas.
Yes.
Thank you for bringing some.
So let me look. What is a constantly thing, wellness, right? Like, what was that? I think that's the exercise for me too.
Yeah.
To say here for everyone that I'm saying no and is sleeping, working less. Like, having a time where, like, okay, learning that this is it.
A discipline.
Like a discipline,
yes.
Like after 6 o'clock. I mean, once in a while I have to do payroll, this and that. That's okay. But like on a regular basis, I schedule myself until 6, and then.
Wasn't that what we were taught when we raised our children? I'm sorry, their nap schedule is from this time. I have a cousin who was so, like, the sleep schedule was, oh my gosh, and these kids are adorable. I mean, they're, older now, but it was, I'm sorry, this is the time they go to bed. It didn't matter where we were at. Like, she put them down, and it really paid off. And I think that they have, like, really great sleeping as they're getting, adolescents now, but it's very structured like that. And I think that is something that we need to start young with our kids, and the importance of, that structure of sleeping. And then also, like you said, when we recognize it, not just to accept it, don't just say, well, I'm just a bad sleeper and I'm just going to take some NyQuil, or don't,
No.
because your body becomes dependent and it will not know how to put itself to sleep.
Yeah. And there's so many resources out there. Don't give up, even if it's something chronic.
Yeah.
I had a client he went to a doctor, a sleeping doctor. He tried different things, and then he found something. Don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up. And also, so a lot of things with, people have deviated septums, and they can't breathe well at night, or, allergies. Make sure that you're don't have allergies. Make sure that you guys are always cleaning the filters, because all of that stuff can make you congested. And if you can't breathe properly, you're trying to breathe through your mouth, you don't sleep well. Don't sleep with the fan on, can't preach that enough.
Oh, something I learned about the fan on? It also dry your eyes. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing that.
And I know we're about at the end of this podcast. I want to touch on one other thing in regards to the importance of sleep. And just for those who are concerned about anti-aging, or how, if you are a back sleeper, try to sleep on your back. That's the best position, as far as,
beauty.
Yeah, as far as beauty is concerned, thank you. And if you are a side sleeper, I see this all the time with people. I can tell what side a person sleeps on because of their face. They have more wrinkles. They have a depletion of collagen, a little bit more sagging.
But if we take turns.
Well, it's not a, that's
because I
have
a side sleep, so if I take turns, that can help.
I saw they invented this pillow, and I think it was 2 young women. Brilliant. It's like caved to where your head rests on it, but your face falls between it. It's like remember the pillows, like if you're a big-breasted woman, and so yeah. Anyways, this sleep on your hands, on your arms, so where that your face is falling in between the space of your. Don't let it rest on the pillow directly. So I kind of like sleep like this, so that my face is like on there. Yeah. And I can also tell people age tend to, especially here in California, but probably all over the United States, right? We the sun coming through the vehicle on on the left side, they always show a little bit more aging on the left side of them. Even their shoulder, their neck, their décolletage area. I can see it.
Well, you deserve to have a nice, well sleep night. Have your beauty or your wellness. Find something fun during the day to release the stress.
And where can they find the teas?
So we're gonna have a link on our underneath
On
right
our
there,
channel, our YouTube
And
channel.
I'm learning this, right?
So we have one for deep sleep
Yeah,
that you don't want to take during the daytime because
No,
it's gonna.
no, just take
knock
like
you
half hour before you fall asleep. You want to go to bed, and then the anti-stress you can take throughout the day. If one is not enough, go like me, go 2 or 3, and make sure that you click to subscribe and write it down, something to us. It would be so awesome if you can ask a question, make a comment, let us know how we're doing. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, we are open to constructive criticism.
Yeah, because there's no right, there's no wrong. There's
Right.
just what works.
And we will continue to strive to empower you, to help you regain control in your life, and bring to you products, right, that we feel are worthy, tried and true, just to help you evolve into your holistic self. Thanks for joining Powered Podcast. See you guys next time.